Can you hear me? Hi. Hello. Can hear me? Can? Okay. Hi. Can hear me, right? Hello. Okay. I'm going to start. Okay. So, okay, let's take a look at today's one. Today is actually P6 Science Term 2 revision. But when we say revision means that we're actually going through even your P3, P4, and P5 topics as well. Okay. So, yes, thank you. Yes, there would be. Okay, so let's look at question one. Okay, so for question one over here, all right, it says that, okay, if you know the answer, you can share it with me, okay? So what happens is it says here, okay, that the graph below shows the amount of food that was digested in different parts of the human digestive system. Okay, so you must remember, no, tomorrow don't have. Tomorrow is public holiday. Public holiday, so don't have, okay? Public holiday don't have, okay? Yeah, give me a moment, okay? Okay. Okay. Okay, over here, what happens here is they said that, let me highlight the key thing first, okay? So the key thing here is, wow, so fast. Which part of the digestive system is represented by part X? Okay, so you need to understand that when you encounter like such questions, right, it's about your digestive system. So you need to understand, can you tell me, right, which part of your digestive system can digest food? You all know? Can you remember your P4 topic on digestive system? Which part? Yes. Those of you sending your answers, you're correct, but you all must remember your science concepts, okay? So which part? Oh, memory is very good. So yes, remember that your mouth, your small intestine, and your stomach, all right, helps to actually digest food. Okay, so with this understanding, okay, let's highlight the key thing first, okay? Okay, firstly, which the graph shows the amount of food, okay, that has been digested in different parts of the human digestive system, and I want to look at part X. Okay, so in during exam, right? Very good. Thank you, WL. Oh, Corelia, okay. Oh, I'll try to remember. Okay, so everybody, what happens here is you must understand that read the headings properly. Okay, so in this case, you can see that it's about digested food. Okay, sometimes the question will ask us about, instead of digested food here, okay, they might put undigested food. So you must read the 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 labeling or the axis of your graphs correctly. Okay, so for this, you can see that part X, okay, most of you got it correct. Yes, the answer is number 3. But let me explain why, okay? So part X, you can see that in terms of the amount of digested food, okay, you can see that it is the most. Okay, so if it is the most, all right, what does it tells me? Okay, it tells me that, okay, always remember digestion begins at the mouth. Okay, begins at the mouth. All right. And then what happens next? After it begins at the mouth? Any idea? Okay, so it begins at the mouth, and after that, it will go down to the stomach, right? Okay, let me write this one down. Okay, so what happened is that it will go down to the stomach. Okay, and you will notice that, right? Because it begins at the mouth, digested food is the least. Okay, there is the least food being digested there. Okay, then when it goes to the stomach will digest this amount of food. Okay, so the amount of food that has been digested by at the stomach is here. Okay, so then after that, you will go to part X, and part X will actually digest This amount of food. Very good. Yeah, and because I think it's holidays tomorrow. That's why. That's why I think some of them maybe go holiday already. Then you all have HBL on Friday, right? Should be HBL on Friday, most of you. Is it HBL? Yeah, right. So everybody know that oh, tomorrow is public holiday, then the next day is HBL. Then oh okay, then Monday someone no school, right? Monday you all don't need to go back to school on Mondays, right? Yeah, so, but some will go for a short trip somewhere. A lot of homework. Oh no, I hope that y'all can finish up. Okay, but let me continue with this question first, okay? So over here, what happens is you can see that there is that food is digested here. And since there is the most digestion here, this tells me that it is at the small intestine. Why? Because from the stomach to here, you can see that food did get digested. So when there is digestion, the only place left is the small intestine. Okay, so your answer is supposed to be number 3, small intestine. Okay? Yeah, yeah. Usually, I thought it's go back to school on Tuesday. Should be right because yeah, I thought you all will go back to school on Tuesday instead. Y- Yeah, correct, right? I wasn't wrong. Right? Okay, everyone. Okay, do you get this correct? Yeah, no school is HBL on Friday. Home-based learning for some of the school. You all just do on your SLS, okay? Okay. Oh, you are half day on Friday. Oh, you got school on Friday? Oh no. Okay. Oh, because you are P6, right? So it doesn't feel like holidays. Okay, everyone, let's move on, okay? Let's move on to the next one. Did you have any questions for question 1? Oh, oh no. Okay, but enjoy your tomorrow. Tomorrow is public holiday. So confirm no school tomorrow. No questions? Okay, let me move on. Okay, so now let's look at this. Question 2. Okay, question 2, it says here that the diagram below shows different parts of a flower. And they are asking, they say, okay, Derek, okay, removed one part from the flower, and after some time, the flower did not develop into a fruit. Which part did Derek remove? Okay, so okay, can you tell me, in order for the flower to become a fruit, can you tell me what kind of parts should be there? Very good, all of you. Yeah, yes, the answer is two by your. Okay, very good. Can you explain to me why two? Okay, stigma and style must be there. Oh, very good. And the ovary must be there. The ovules must be there. So basically, all the female parts have to be there in order for your flower to become a fruit. Okay, so for this, let's write this one down. Did not develop into a fruit. If it did not develop, means that there is no more female parts. Okay, so take note. Okay, always identify your parts. Okay, I saw someone. What is A? A is called the. Do you know what's A? A is called the what? Very good enter. Yes, very good, Abby. So A is the enter. Then what about B? Very good, Jerome. The stigma must be there, right, to receive pollen grains. B is the stigma. Very good. And what about C? Oh, it's very good. Okay, let me ask you something. Does it matter whether the petals are there or not? Very good. No, right. The petals actually have not much gender that we don't give petals a gender. Okay, so very good. Then for D, okay, D, do you have any idea what is it? D is actually out of syllabus, but this question actually labeled D. It's actually called people. Okay, so that one don't need to learn because definitely will not test during PSLE. Okay, so over here, the one that Derek removed is the female parts. Okay, so the female parts is the stigma. So your answer is supposed to be number 2. Most of you got it correct. Very good. Hey, very good, all of you. Chin Hong. Yes, very good. But Chin Hong, you are not wrong. But for wind pollinated flowers, you don't need. So we cannot assume anything, whether it's wind or animal pollinated. But okay, take note that even if you don't have the help of like insects, right? The Derek can put the pollen grain on the stigma himself. Okay, so whether the petals are there or not doesn't matter because Derek got one person there in the story in his question. So if he wants, he can actually put the pollen grain on the stigma. But if there's no stigma at all, even if you try to put the pollen grains on the flower, it will not become a fruit. Okay. So everybody, again, I'm gonna move on. Yeah, petals are there to attract pollinators. But in exam, never assume that this is an animal or insect pollinated flower. Derek is there. So Derek can put the pollen grain. So, but even if he put, if there is no stigma, definitely will not become a fruit. Okay? So I'm gonna move on. Okay, so let me move on. Yes, so let me move on to 3. Anyone got any questions for 2? Actually, the petals are not so important because there's Derek there. Okay, you can understand? Okay? Okay, I'm gonna move on. So let's move on. Oh, how did you do? I hope that you did you I hope that you're confident with your answers for your science exam. Okay, let's look at question 3. Question 3 is your P5 topic about your cycles in water, your water cycles. Okay, so on a sunny day, okay, what happened here is, all right, it says that David placed 2 similar plastic cones. Hold on, placed 2 similar plastic cones on a tray of wet sand, and at the end of the day, he observed that cone Y had collected more water than cone Z. Can anyone tell me, if I collected more water, right, what does it mean? What process do you think has occurred more or has occurred faster? You did this before? Yeah, yeah. My name? Yeah, my name is teacher Jody, right? Jody, Jody. Yeah, at least you are very close. You almost spelled my name correctly. Very good, Jin Hong. Very good, Sing Long. Jerome, very good. What 1 to 5? But user 7456. I only go through question 3. Why you want to see all the way to 5? 1 is 3. The answer for 2 is 2. Okay, let me go back to question 3. Okay, so over here. All right, so very good. Most of you got the idea there that more water basically means that there is more or faster condensation. Okay, but how come there's more condensation? Because can you all remember what factor affects the rate of condensation? There are 2 things that affect rate of condensation. Oh, Jared, because teacher Felicia went for a holiday. So yeah, so today only me. This week actually only me because tomorrow is public holiday, so there'll be no TikTok live as well. Small surface area is the one that affects evaporation. Now, can you think? Okay, we know that there is actually somehow there's actually more condensation. Why? Remember, there are 2 factors that actually affect rate of condensation. One of it is related to evaporation. You're not wrong, Chin Hong. One of it is related to evaporation. Okay, so you need to remember that condensation is affected by 2 things. Okay, one is temperature difference. Temperature difference basically means that how cold is your colder surface and how hot is your water vapor. If the surface is very cold and your water vapor is very hot, okay, there is a huge difference in temperature. So that will actually speed up condensation. Okay, but over here, my surface is the same temperature, right? Okay, so between these 2, my surface is of the same temperature. My surrounding, my sand is on the same temperature, is at the same location, right? So over here, the temperature difference does not affect rate of condensation. What about the other one? Yeah, you all must understand, okay, the second one is actually, let me write down, okay, condensation. There's two things that affect condensation, okay. One is temperature difference. Okay, second one is actually the amount of water vapor. Water vapor. And then someone, just now, I think Jerome or who, okay, mentioned about or Chin Hong, or I think it's Chin Hong, mentioned about the surface area. Yes, what will affect water vapor? It will be evaporation, right? Rate of evaporation. The faster or the higher the rate of evaporation, the more water vapor you have. When you have more water vapor touching or coming in contact with the cooler surface, you will get more water droplets. You will have more condensation. Okay, okay? Very good. So what are the factors that affect evaporation? Very good, Pia, and all that, all of you. Okay, yes, it is in this case is the exposed surface area. Remember, there are three things. Remember the word wet. WET, the factors that affect evaporation. Okay, W is wind, E is exposed surface area, okay, and the T is temperature. All right, so for this question, okay, you can see that the one on the left, okay, has a greater exposed surface area. ESA, okay, exposed surface area. The one on the right has a smaller exposed surface area. So the greater exposed surface area, okay, it basically means that there will be faster evaporation or more evaporation. Very good. Humidity is not tested in PSLE. Humidity is one of is actually the fourth factor that affects evaporation, but not tested in PSLE. So you all just remember three. Okay. So more evaporation means you get more water vapor. Okay. A lot of you, yes. It's a very common question. They usually will like change the exposed surface area of the object. Okay, so it's quite a very common question. Hello, can of milk tea? Okay, so over here, what? Okay, but do you know what is hypothesis or not? Any idea? Do you have any idea what does it mean by hypothesis? No. Okay, hypothesis is basically actually some of the schools has begin to use the word hypothesis in your questions in school exam questions. Okay, so hypothesis basically means like a prediction. Okay, predict what you think would happen. Make a good guess. What do you think will happen? Certain school teachers only want you to make a correct prediction or a correct guess. Okay, some schools are a bit stricter. They want you to make the correct one. All right, so take note. Very good. Those of you who mentioned about prediction and guessing, yes. Sing long. It depends, you know. Some school teachers very strict. By right hypothesis, no right, no wrong. Yes, by right. But some school teachers only wants their student to, based on the science concept that they know, make the correct prediction. I saw someone say me, mine. Yeah. So yeah, there are school teachers that are like that. Okay, so over here, hypothesis, we try to make a educated prediction or guess. Okay, so based on what you already know, right, that Y, cone Y, which is this one, collected more water. Okay, so it's because of what? What do you think? Some of you send in your answers to me already. Can you all send in your answers? I think some of you haven't. What do you think? Which prediction, which hypothesis do you think is correct? Oh, yes, Pia. I saw you mention relationship and conclusion. Be a conclusion, but you must guess what is the correct. Most of the school teachers expect you to guess the correct one. Okay? Three or four? Most of you mentioned three. Okay. The correct answer is is three. Most of you got it correct. Calculator. Okay, so everybody, let me quickly explain why is it three and why is not the rest. Okay, so number one. The rate of condensation is faster when there's more water. Take note, condensation has nothing to do with water in the wet sand. Okay, just take note of that. Condensation, the only thing that affects condensation is temperature difference and water vapor. Okay, so next, rate of evaporation is faster. Okay, when the temperature inside the cone is higher. So everybody, why I don't choose number two? Correct what? Science concept is correct, right? But is it shown in this experiment? Is the temperature the change variable in this experiment? No, right? Very good. So I know you must be thinking, hey, option two is scientifically true, is scientifically correct, but it is not shown in this question. Okay, so take note for option two, I cannot accept because it's not. Okay, let me try to write somewhere. Okay, I try to squeeze in somewhere. Not shown. Okay, they did not show us anything about temperature. That's not my change variable. Okay. Okay, next, number three. Okay, the rate of evaporation is faster when the exposed surface area of the wet sand is larger. Okay, so this is actually shown. Why? Because this is my change variable. You can see from here. This is larger exposed surface area. There's a smaller exposed surface area here. So when it's larger exposed surface area, more evaporation, more water vapor, more condensation. That's why more water is collected at cone Y. For cone Y. Okay. Okay, so answer is number three, and number four is not accepted. Okay, because the materials are not different. Take note, it's similar. Plastic cones. This is not the change variable. Okay. Okay. Yes, for four not accepted because this is not the change variable, so it's not shown in this experiment. Okay. Okay. So that's why number four is wrong. So this is one of the like tougher questions. So you must be very, very careful. Okay. All right. So everyone, okay. Understand? Got any questions? Any more questions for question five? No? Okay. Good. So let's move on. Okay. So question three, no more questions, huh? Okay, I move on. Okay. So let's look at question four. Water cycles again. This is a very common question. Okay. Exam like to give this kind of question. Hey, you're welcome. Okay, so now let's look at this one. Sorry, let me pick up something. Okay, so let's look at this one. Question four. Question four, it says that Anne bought some hot buns from a store. Okay, and what happens is that they were placed in a box as shown. Okay, take note what is the hotter region. The buns is the hotter region, right? The hotter thing. So when she opened the box, you notice that the buns are wet. So can you tell me why are the buns wet? What do you think has occurred? Very good. Thank you. Milo dinosaur. Okay, Milo dinosaur. Yes, condensation has occurred. Galinos, I have no idea why. I don't have coins. I have no idea why. Okay, so they are wet. Why? Because there are water droplets on the buns. The water droplets dripped on the buns. Why are there water droplets? It's because of condensation. Okay, so now what happens? Why is there condensation? Condensation will only occur if there is water vapor and if there is a cooler surface. Okay, so based on this, the what happened is the bun. Okay, explain why, right? Okay, let me highlight this important thing. Explain why did it become wet. Okay, a lot of students like to start from water evaporated. Now, can you tell me in this question, you look carefully, water or not? Is there any water bodies? Are there any sources of water here? Do I start from water from somewhere evaporate? No, very good. Okay, so don't need to start from water evaporating. Not everything must start from water evaporating. Okay, so over here is because there are water vapor inside the box with the buns already. So what happened is the water vapor became warm. Okay, because the buns are hot, right? So the water vapor around the bun became hot or became warmer. So when the water vapor became warmer, it rises, it comes into contact. Okay, let me comes into contact with the cooler inner surface of the box. So take note that the box here is my cooler surface. Okay, so when it comes into contact with the cooler surface of the box, okay, what happened is that it will three things. Okay, you must remember to mention three things: heat, process, formed. Okay, you must mention loose heat. Okay, then you must mention the process. It condenses. Okay, and then what did it form? It formed water droplets, which actually dripped back in onto the bun. So when it dripped onto the bun, it made the bun wet or soggy. Okay, same as like French fries. You all have eaten McDonald's French fries, right? If you take away, you all keep the French fries and you keep it for very long in the bag, you will notice that your French fries turn soggy, right? It turns a bit wet, not so nice anymore. Or maybe some of you like soggy fries, I don't know. Okay, but it works the same way. It's because of the water vapor in the bag. Okay, it touch the cooler surface, loose heat, condense, water droplets drip onto the fries. In this case, the bun. Okay, can? Yes. Ooh, you're making me hungry, hi. I don't know what, Greg, it's so sweet of you. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Don't anyhow add coins to your account, okay? Later you're spending your parents' money or something. Don't, okay? Okay? Yes. So everybody, always remember, do not miss out any keywords for water cycle questions. So I'm gonna write down what you must say, okay? So always remember, explain, you must describe about what happened to the water vapor. Okay? You must mention that, talk about the buns, the water vapor. Okay, then after that, science concept. So in AGrader, right, we follow a 2 or 3 steps answering technique. For this question, it is not an experiment. So we do 2 steps answering technique. D means describe. You need to describe about your water vapor. Is it warmer? Is it not so warm? Okay. Second step is your science concept. That's why I write here S. S for science concept. Okay, science concept is your keywords in your water cycle questions. Okay, so you need to mention about heat, whether it gain heat or lose heat. Mention what is the process, whether it evaporates or it condenses. Okay, and talk about what is being formed. The question, you got this question in your exam. It's a very common question. They can use burger, they can use French fries, and then put it in the box. Then they ask you the question. Okay, so I'm gonna write down the answer. So for this, okay, you can say that. Let me use purple to indicate the D. Okay, warm water vapor from the buns came into contact with. Hold on, let me use go for this. Face of the box. All right, then we mentioned loose heat or lost heat. Sorry, let me change this to past tense first. Lost heat and condensed into water droplets, which dripped onto the buns. Loser, you are not wrong. She should do that, or she can poke holes, right? No, you're almost there. Condense into what? Then what happened to the water droplets? Okay, I'm going to highlight the key things, okay, that you have to mention. Water or more water vapor, contact or touches the cooler inner surface. And depending on a school teacher, I've heard that some school teacher don't allow students to write touch. Okay, because I heard that they say that touch is an action word. Action word, then water vapor can't really touch. Okay, so they some school teachers only want the phrase came into contact. Okay, so y'all watch out, watch what your school teacher wants you to write. Okay, so loss it condense into water droplets. Okay, okay? Anyone? Jun Hong, why you take yourself and say hi? Hello. Yes, Sing Long, correct. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Hi, Foxy. I'm gonna move on, huh? Okay, let's move on to the next one. I think six, eh? Yeah. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, so over here, okay, the next visit to the same stall happened is that she bought two boxes of hot buns, A and B. Then she asked the stall holders to poke holes onto the boxes. Okay, so everybody look at box A and box B carefully. Then I move on to the next page because the question is on the next page. Okay, I look, I teach online classes on Thursdays. I teach online classes on Thursday. Hi. Okay. Okay, everyone. Okay. For P6, I teach online on Thursdays. If you want physical classes, then I only teach at North Point, but I don't have P6s at for physical classes this year. Okay, so let's move on. Okay. So for B, all right. When she opened the boxes, she observed, okay, highlight the keyword, observed that the buns in box A were wetter than the buns in box B. Explain why. Okay, so for this question, what happened is that why is the buns in box A wetter? Okay, take note. For this question, it's not because box A have lesser water vapor. No, the water vapor is still the same. Okay, just that the difference between box A and box B, always look out for your change variable. Very good, not Greg, correct. The rest of you, Chin Hong, Pei Fong, yes, Sing Dong, yes, very good. So, but the question asking for box A. So you focus on box A, okay? Explain why box A will better. So A, we notice that, okay, let me go to the question. All right, the number of holes are actually my change variable. CV means change variable, okay? Change variable is actually the number of holes. All right, so basically you can see here that A has lesser holes. So when it has less holes means lesser water vapor escape. Yes, very good. So lesser water vapor escape, what happened is that there will be more water vapor coming into contact with the cooler inner surface of the box. So there'll be condensation and you'll lose it, you'll condense and you get more water droplets. For this question, please use comparison words like more. Okay? Why? Is because you are comparing A and B. Alright, so you must be very careful, okay? Oh, this one I think the exposed surface area. This one we don't mention exposed surface area. Exposed surface area for water cycle is closely related to evaporation. Here we no evaporation in this question because no water bodies here. Okay, so we start off with water vapor straight away. Okay, so over here, when you explain, firstly, describe. Two steps answering technique. Okay, D for describe. Then you have to describe about the change variable because you need to compare the boxes. Say that there were less holes on box A than B. Okay, then your science concept, always remember three things to mention in your water cycle question. Heat, process, formed. Okay, whether it gain or lose heat, what process is it undergoing, and what is being formed. Okay? How you got the idea there? That will give you half a mark actually. This one I don't know. This one is explanation. So you write a bit more, okay? So you must say that there were less holes on box A than B. Okay, so what happens? So less warmer water vapor would escape and more water vapor in A came into contact with the cooler inner surface of box A, lost heat and condenses and condensed into more water droplets, which dripped onto the buns. Oh, yeah, that's why must memorize. For science, a bit tough because you need to memorize. So I usually highlight the keywords. You see on top, I will highlight the keywords for you. So you all must remember those are the key points. Okay? So you must first thing describe, compare A and B. There are less holes. So lesser warmer water vapor can escape. So more water vapor, contact, cooler surface, loss heat, condense, and you get more water droplets. Six. If got Kahoot, then maybe we'll drag on a little bit. Okay. Anyone has any questions here? Do I need to copy anything? Okay, I'm moving on, okay? So let's look at question 5. Yes, yes, WL. Yeah, Singlong, some school teachers are very strict, so must mention condensation. The one you must ask the school. The school that said this. Some school teachers, some schools don't want to give you all so many marks so easily. So they purposely give you only 1 mark. Then you ask the school, okay? Yeah, some school they're a bit more stingy with the marks, so yeah. Everyone okay? Yeah, okay? I I move on. Oh, no, exposed surface area. WL. This one nothing to do with exposed surface area actually. Okay, okay? Okay, I'm gonna move on. 4 marks. I seldom see any 4 marks. Maximum usually is 2 marks. So everyone, let's look at 5. Okay, 5. It says that the diagram below shows how water and food are transported in the plant. Okay, which parts do A and B represents? Now just look at the direction of the arrow. Water is a solid line arrow. Food is the dotted line. So what do you think it is? Look at the direction. Dotted line is food. Dotted arrow is food. Solid arrow is water. So what do you think is A? Or what do you think is B? Hey, most of you. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, so basically what happens is that, all right, you all look at the direction. B is the one that provides food, right? Because you see food goes to the stem. So B is the one that provides food. Then A, look at the direction of water. Water comes from A, goes to the stem, and then it goes to the other parts of the plant. Okay, so we know that for A, it provides water. While B provides food. Okay? So for this, very straightforward. Thank you for all your answers. Most of you got it correct. Roots is A, leaves are B. Very good. If you put singular or plural, it's fine. Okay? So very good, all of you. I move on quickly, okay? So this one, the next question. Okay, it says that outer ring of the stem. Okay, so outer ring was removed, food carrying tubes were removed. Okay, so food carrying tubes are actually the outer ring of the stem, the outer circumference of the stem, or outer tubes, I would say. All right. So, and they mentioned that the water carrying tubes remain inside the stem. So take note that the transport of water is not affected here, but the transport of food is affected. Okay, so the question for B, let me go down a bit, okay? The question for B, they said a week later, the plant withered and died. Give a reason why removing the outer ring of the stem caused the plant to die. Okay, so every time you get this type of question, okay, can you, let me ask you all first. Can this plant still make food? What do you think? Yes, very good, Jarek. Okay, so the plant here still can make food. Why? Because water carrying tubes are not affected. Water can still go over the roots and then go to the leaves. Like this, right? So take note, water is not affected. Maybe let me write here. Water can be transported. Okay, but what about, so that means the leaves receive water. The leaves still can make food. Okay, but what about the food? Can it be transported to the roots? Very good user. Correct. Can it still be transported to the roots? No, very good. Okay, so over here, the food made over here, right? Let's say here made food, right? And then you try to go down. Then you'll get stuck here. Why? Because food carrying tubes has been removed. So food will get stuck at this section here. Okay, very good. So a week later, give a reason why it died. It's because, okay, two step. Okay, why, even though it's why, right? Look at the marks, 2 marks. Why? Why usually means explain. Okay, so over here, you need to firstly describe about which tubes are being affected, science concept, what function of the tubes are being affected. Okay, so you need to say that the food carrying tubes removed and food made in the leaves cannot be transported to the roots of the plant. Thus, the roots died due to lack of food and is unable to absorb water for the plant to survive. Jeremy and WL, Stephanie, very good. Okay, yes, but you need to mention why the plant died. Plant, living things, right? Living things die because maybe there's no water, maybe there's no food, maybe there's no air. So must be a little bit more specific. So I must say that food carrying tubes were removed, food made cannot be transported, so the roots die due to lack of food, so cannot absorb water. Oh, Jerome. Okay, very good. For this one, yes, because they asked why the plant died. Yeah, WL. There's a text limit, there's a word limit, right? Huh. Depends on how strict your teacher is, actually. Our answer is based on like even the strictest teacher cannot penalize you anymore. Okay, everyone okay? I'm gonna move on. Okay, so let's look at six, okay? Six is a very straightforward question. You all can send in your answers to me if yeah, if you know. So over here, what happens is that the person did an experiment. The paper spiral was hung above the boiling pot of boiling water. The paper spiral started to spin, and you need to mention the energy conversion. So usually they will give you clues. Okay, so over there they give you a clue: boiling water, rising hot air, moving paper spiral. So boiling means that they are using the what energy? Heat energy. Good. Heat energy. Heat energy is the one that causes the air to be hot. And when air becomes hot, it will rise. Okay, hot air rises, cold air sinks. Okay, so heat energy of the boiling water is converted to kinetic energy of the rising hot air, and then is converted to very good, Chin Hong. Very good, hi. Yes, it's connected to kinetic energy because of the word moving. Okay, very straightforward. All right, so I'm gonna move on. Very good. Very good, Jerry, as well. Yes. Hey, be nice to each other, okay? Okay, let's move on. This one very straightforward. Let's move on to the last page, then we'll do Kahoot. Okay, so over here. Now, this one also very straightforward question, okay? Because it is like a relationship question. Okay, so over here, Mary decided to repeat the same experiment to find out. The moment you see to find out, what is that? What is to find out? PSD, you are not wrong. You are correct. To find out is actually the aim. Very good, hi. Aim of the experiment. Okay, Jared, very good. So the aim always consists of my changed and measured variable. So over here, exposed surface area affects average number of spin made by the paper spiral. So always remember, changed variable affects measured variable. Okay, so this would be my changed variable. Average number of spins will be my measured variable. Okay, so for this, okay, based on the results above, state how these is affected by this. Okay, everybody, common mistake made by students is that because, listen carefully again, a lot of students make this mistake because the question mentioned average number of spins first, they go and write average number of spins first. Are you supposed to do that? Do you write average number of spins first? Is that the one that affects the other variable? No, right? You must mention your change variable first. So it's always a good habit to identify a change variable. You must mention exposed surface area first. Because when this changes, your exposed surface areas change, then your number of spins changes. Okay, so must be very, very careful, all right? So for this, okay, the word state how means it is a relationship question. Okay, and we must start off with exposed surface area first, then number of spins second. All right, so for this, what do you notice? As the exposed surface area of container increases, average number of spins per minute increases. Very good. Change variable first, all of you. Very good. Yes, must mention exposed surface area first. So let's write this one down, okay? So as the exposed surface area of the container increases, the average number of spins increases. Okay? Why rah rah rah? Why you rah rah rah? You are. Okay. Everyone okay? Understand so far? Clear? Any questions? Hi, City Kitty. Okay, I'm gonna move on, okay, to see. Okay, now they mentioned that 20 holes were punched onto the same paper, 20 holes, okay, and the experiment was conducted again using an exposed surface area of 800 cm square. So how did the change affect the average number of spins made by the paper spiral? Any idea? So what do you all think? So what do you think will happen to the spin if I poke holes onto the paper spiral? What do you think will happen to the spins? Any idea? If I poke holes, I make a lot of holes here. What do you think will happen to the spin? Yes, it will spin lesser. Okay? Why? Because these holes, what will happen when you poke holes? The hot air will escape. So when the hot air escape, there is lesser conversion of energy. Okay, because since hot air escape, right, there's lesser heat energy because some of the heat is escape together with the rest of the hot air. Okay. So over here, take note that for if you put holes, hot air will escape and hot air will pass through. So there will be lesser energy conversion here. Okay, so let me write this one down first. So when hot air escape, there will be lesser energy. Okay, so you can say that the average number of spins made by the paper spiral. Very good. Those of you sending your answers, you got it correct. Decreases. Okay. It will be spin slower, but they say number. So number we don't say slower. If they say like rate or speed, then you mention slower. Okay, number so you say like lesser or fewer or decreases. Okay, so explain. Let me explain this quickly. This one. This one, then the keyword. When there are holes, what happens to the exposed surface area of the spiral in contact with the hot air? Any idea? If you put holes, right, is there more or lesser surface area? Very good, Jerome. The spiral has lesser area, surface area, in contact with the air. Lesser exposed surface area in contact with the hot air. So what happens is that there'll be lesser kinetic energy of the hot air being converted to kinetic energy of the paper spiral. Okay, can you understand? This one must talk about energy conversion because the question is related to energy conversion. Okay, so if you explain without using energy conversion, you will lose marks. Okay, so over here when you explain, you must describe about the exposed surface area of the spiral in contact with the air. So lesser surface in contact with the air, there will be lesser kinetic energy, okay, being converted to lesser of the hot air being converted to lesser kinetic energy of the spiral. All right, so their science concept will be energy conversion. Okay. Who am I voting for? That is private and confidential. Why do you want? You're so young, you're talking about voting. Okay, let me write this one down, okay? Now I say that less exposed surface area of the paper spiral will be in contact with the rising hot air, hence less kinetic energy. Oops, let me change this to red because it's the second part. Less kinetic energy of the hot air is converted to less kinetic energy of the paper spiral. Is that concentrating or not? Oh, you're talking about other things here. Okay, I'm gonna highlight the key thing again. Less exposed surface area in contact with the rising hot air. So less kinetic energy of the hot air is converted to less kinetic energy of the paper spiral. It's long, right? Because my pen the thickness is quite big. Yeah. Yeah, I write bigger so you can see. So if it's thinner, then it's actually like the number of lines that you use is actually lesser. Everyone again? No, what career path? I mean, I'm already working in my career. Then you're asking me. Yeah, Kahoot time. Everybody, do you have any questions for this? You all need any more time to copy? Need to copy anything? Yeah, okay, wait. Jerry, you copying, is it? Don't worry, okay, our recording will be made available. The live recording will be made available on the AGrader website. I'll wait for a little while more. Because if not later, yeah, to make everyone wait. Hi. Yes, Kahoot time. Okay, everybody, done? I'm. Was who is still copying? Yeah. Okay, I move on now. Jarek, are you okay? Jarek, okay? Jarek must be very busy copying. Not okay, Jarek, you want to take a photo or later or you watch the recording, take a screenshot or something. Okay, Jarek, if you want later, then you stay back, then I can like show you again if you want. Okay? Okay, so everybody, just a gentle reminder, okay, that we have online classes, okay, for P5 and P6, English, Math, Science, and Creative Writing. Okay, I'll be teaching the P6 Science on Thursdays. Okay, so let me share the rules for the Kahoot. Okay, so everybody, I'm gonna start the Kahoot. So these are the rules. You all can take a like screenshot so that like you know what to do. Okay, then right, yeah. Okay, take a screenshot. So take note later when I conduct the Kahoot, right? If you are the top three, okay, top three, first place, second place, third place, remember to take a screenshot to prove that you are in the top three. Okay, okay. Then you can DM us on our TikTok account, or you can send it to the phone number right above. Okay, okay. All right. So let me take a screenshot, take a photo so you know what are the instructions. Okay. So everybody, let me share my Kahoot screen. Give me a moment. Hello, Cindy. Can you all see? Okay, y'all can let me close this thing first, okay? Okay, y'all can key in the pin. Let me key in the pin for y'all. Those of you who needs to join, okay, I type in the pin, the Kahoot game pin in the chat, so y'all can join. I cannot wait so long, okay? So I wait for a few seconds for y'all to join. Okay. You okay? Okay. Uh, okay, I will. You're okay, right? Okay, then I will start. Okay, I'll count down. The code I already sent in 844-1387. I sent it through the comments just now. Okay, I send it in one more time. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, everybody. Yes. Okay, everybody. So if you join halfway, you can join halfway. It's perfectly fine. Okay, just make sure you key in the code. Okay, so all the best, everybody. Must be someone trying to be funny. I'm hosting, I cannot blame. This one can choose more than one. Kahoot. If you want, you can join in. Oh, very hard. Okay, so always remember a population. Okay, one. I only want one population. Any organism within the same life cycle is considered one population. One frog is there's only one frog, right? One frog is one organism. Population must be a group of animals of the same kind or the same type living together. Okay, okay? So one frog and one tadpole. Why? It's because they belong to the same life cycle, right? So total got two organisms is considered one population. Okay? Four frogs, so many, more than one of the same type, one population. Okay? The orange one cannot, and it's because, sorry, the yellow one cannot is because their butterfly and frogs are different life cycle. Okay? So they are different populations. Okay, again? Okay, I'm gonna move on. Oh, Kahoot pin. Kahoot pin. Okay, okay, give me a moment. Let me type this one down. Okay. Okay. Pin is there. You can join if you want. Okay, I'm gonna go next. Okay. The green one. Yes, carnivore. Take note. Do not choose the grasshopper. Eating a plant doesn't make an organism a carnivore. Okay? Carnivore means eat other animals. So based on this food chain is the shrew and the owl. Okay? Next. Very good. Oh, I sent in the pin already. Okay, let me send in again. To the chat. Organism must be at the start of every food chain and food web. The beginning, the first organism. Yes, we all of you, very good. The producers must be the beginning. Okay, very good. The pin I type into the chat already. 844-1387. That's the pin. 844-1387. It's yellow. Light energy from the sun is being used, is being passed on to the plants. The plants use light energy to make food. Then the energy of the plants is being transferred to the consumers that eats the plants. Okay, so very good. Not part of the circulatory. These are easy, yeah. Just now you all say all the questions so hard, right? The P6 one. So now it's the easy question. I'm not so clever. Yes, you're going to correct. You see, easy one now. Okay, just now you're complaining so hard. Okay, next one. This is a bit hard. Cells get, how do cells, that why do we need oxygen? Why do we need oxygen? Why do we need oxygen? To get energy for during respiration. Yeah, remember, okay? Respiration is a process whereby we use oxygen and digested food to get energy. Okay? This one is hard. This one is a bit harder. Okay? This one can choose more than one, multi-select. Hmm. For the blue one, just add the word when in front. I think there's a missing when. When a spring stretches less for the blue one. What are you saying? This one, elastic spring force. Remember, when there is more elastic spring force, means that what? Is when the spring is compressed more, okay? Or when the extension means you stretch it more. If there is, and when the extension increase, means you stretch it more. Okay? Remember, when it's being compressed more or when it's being stretched more, there'll be more elastic spring force also. Okay? Which one is energy conversion of this picture? This picture, okay? Of this like GIF. Which energy conversion is correct? You see the GIF? The string is being stretched. So it's elastic potential, and then we release it, it's kinetic, converted to kinetic. Okay? Okay, last question. Last one ready, Chin Hong. Again, energy conversion again. Using petrol. Petrol. These are all your P6 concepts. Energy conversion, elastic spring force. This is force, yeah, very good. Okay, when you use petrol, it is chemical potential energy converted to kinetic energy of the car. Very good. Okay, congratulations. Those of you who are top three, please take a screenshot. Who don't know? Please take a screenshot. Okay, and you can let me share again, okay? No, it's okay. Do you know? 2 weeks later, it is still P6 science Kahoot. 2 weeks later. Okay, so everybody, okay, Capital level. Okay, you all take a screenshot, okay? Those of you, a gentle reminder, take a screenshot, send it to the number above, okay? And just a gentle reminder as well, okay, that the next live will be on next Wednesday already. Tomorrow, no live, it's public holiday. Okay? Alright? You're so close, don't worry, you have to say it again. Okay? Then I'll see you 2 weeks later, okay? Bye. Bye. Enjoy your holidays tomorrow. Enjoy your holidays. Bye. Today only me. No more teacher. Because teacher Felicia go holiday. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you, Foxy. You too. Bye. Okay, let me end the live again. Bye.